Notice how people speak to you, the tone, the respect or the lack of it. Before you blame them, pause. There is a quieter truth most of us were never taught. The world often mirrors the way we hold ourselves on the inside. Think about the moments you shrink, apologize for existing, or accept less than you desire. Those moments are not invisible. Your body remembers them. Life responds to them. And without a single word spoken, you may be teaching others how to treat you. This is not about blame, it is about power. The moment you change the way you speak to yourself, the way you honor your needs, something begins to shift around you. Boundaries form without force. Respect appears without explanation. Stay with these words. There is a gentle standard you can set, starting within, that changes how others meet you. When you rise in self-respect, life has no choice but to rise with you. My dear one, as we begin this journey together, I want to guide you gently into the first and perhaps most powerful truth. People do not decide who you are. They respond to the way you treat yourself. Every thought you repeat, every belief you hold, every word you whisper inwardly sets the tone for how life meets you. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken a sense of your own power, quiet, steady, and already within you. When I look back on my own life, I see how often I taught others to treat me with less kindness than I deserved. Not because they were unkind, but because I believed I was unworthy. That belief colored my voice, my posture, my boundaries, and even my silence. It shaped the energy I carried with me. And people responded to that energy long before they heard my words. This is the pattern we are here to illuminate. Think of the times you apologized for taking up space, not because you harmed someone, but because you felt you were an inconvenience. Notice how your shoulders may have lowered, how your breath softened into smallness, how your eyes may have drifted downward. These gestures speak more loudly than words, and others read them as instructions, often unconsciously. Without realizing it, you may have signaled, "I am not to be valued fully." The body remembers each of these moments. It holds them gently, even when you have forgotten. A sinking of the chest becomes a habit. A tightening of the throat becomes familiar. A subtle doubt in your voice becomes a pattern. And the world responds to these patterns as though they were deliberate choices. This is why recognizing them is so important. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. You may think back to relationships where you accepted less than kindness, or workplaces where you felt overlooked, or friendships where you gave more than you received. These experiences did not occur because something was wrong with you. They happened because you had not yet learned how to honor your own worth. Life, in its wisdom, was showing you the belief you carried inside. This is not about blame. This is about liberation. When you understand that your inner world shapes your outer world, you reclaim your power. You are no longer at the mercy of others' choices. You become the one who sets the tone for your life. And that tone begins with the way you speak to yourself. As you awaken each morning, notice the first thoughts that arise. Perhaps you rush into worry. Perhaps you feel heaviness. Perhaps your mind rehearses a familiar story of not enoughness. These thoughts are not truths. They are echoes of old teachings, teachings you absorbed long before you knew you could choose differently. When you begin to notice them, the pattern reveals itself. You may remember moments from childhood when you were told to be quiet, to be less demanding, to be agreeable, to be good. These instructions often taught you that your needs were too much or your feelings were inconvenient, and so you learned to shrink, to soften your voice, to silence your desires. You learned to treat yourself as though you were not important, and the world followed your example. Let us slow here. Place your hand on your heart if it feels natural. Feel the quiet rhythm beneath your palm. This rhythm has been with you since the beginning of your life. It has never judged you. It has never growled at you for being too much. It has simply loved you, beat by beat. Your heart knows your worth. even if your mind has forgotten. Now consider the way you speak inwardly. Do you offer yourself kindness, or do you repeat old criticisms as though they were facts? The inner voice is powerful. It becomes the atmosphere of your life. If you speak to yourself as though you are unlovable or unimportant, others may treat you accordingly, not because they wish to hurt you, but because you have trained them to do so through your own self-regard. I learned long ago that self-criticism is a habit, not a truth. It comes from fear, from old wounds, from beliefs passed down by people who were also wounded. When we believe these thoughts, we collapse inwardly. Our energy shrinks, our light dims, and others treat us as though we truly are as small as we feel. But the light within you cannot truly dim. It only becomes covered by layers of misunderstanding. Look at your life with gentle eyes. Notice the patterns of treatment you have received. Do people interrupt you? Do they speak over you? Do they overlook your needs? Do they take advantage of your silence? These are mirrors. They are reflections of the places where you have not yet learned to honor yourself fully. This is not cause for sadness. It is an invitation to reclaim your worth. Imagine now that you are holding a mirror, not to your face, but to your heart. Within that mirror, you see not flaws or limitations, but the quiet truth of your being. You see a soul longing to be treated with tenderness. You see a person deserving of respect. You see someone who has tried so hard to be good that they forgot they were already worthy of goodness. This reflection is your starting point. Many people believe they must wait for others to change before they can feel valued, but the opposite is true. When you change the way you treat yourself, the world adjusts. It responds. It recalibrates itself around your new inner tone. This shift does not require confrontation. It requires recognition. It requires choosing thoughts that support your dignity rather than diminish it. You may fear that treating yourself with respect will seem selfish, but true self-respect is not selfishness. It is clarity. It is honesty. It is the gentle refusal to abandon yourself. When you hold yourself kindly, you teach others to do the same. When you honor your time, your feelings, your needs, you show the world how to honor them too. There is a quiet strength that arises when you begin to recognize your own worth. This strength does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply stands steady and sure. People feel this strength before you speak. It radiates from your posture, from your eyes, from the calmness of your breath. This strength teaches others how to treat you without a word exchanged. Think of the times you have pretended to be fine when your heart was aching. Think of the times you laughed off hurtful comments. Think of the times you accepted crumbs of affection because you believed crumbs were all you deserved. These moments are not signs of weakness. They are signs of longing to be treated as someone who matters. And that longing is your inner wisdom calling you home. As you begin to observe your inner patterns, do so with compassion. You did not create these patterns alone. They were formed through experiences, teachings, and unspoken truths from others who themselves had forgotten their own worth. Now you have the opportunity to break the cycle, to say, I am willing to see myself differently. And willingness is the beginning of transformation. Notice how you speak to yourself when you make a mistake. Notice how you react when you feel insecure. Do you scold yourself? Do you ignore your feelings? Do you pressure yourself to be perfect? These responses signal the world to treat you the same way. When you deny your own needs, you silently invite others to deny them too. Self-respect begins in these small, quiet moments. It begins with choosing softer thoughts. It begins with offering yourself understanding rather than judgment. It begins with saying, I am worthy of kindness, even if your heart trembles as you say it. This trembling is not weakness, it is awakening. You may wonder how deeply these inner beliefs affect your outer world. The answer is completely. Your beliefs shape your energy. Your energy shapes your interactions, and your interactions shape your relationships. This is why inner work is so transformative. When you shift yourself, the world cannot help but shift with you. Let yourself remember a time when someone treated you with genuine kindness. Feel the warmth of that moment. Notice how your heart relaxed. Notice how your shoulders loosened. Notice how your breath deepened. That feeling is the truth of your worth. It lives inside you always. You do not need anyone else to make you feel it. You can offer it to yourself. Now recall a moment when someone treated you poorly. Feel how your body reacted, how you may have tightened, shrunk, or doubted yourself. That reaction was not weakness. It was your body saying, "This does not match my truth." The pain of mistreatment is a signal calling you towards self-respect. As you learn to treat yourself with kindness, these signals become clearer. You begin to feel discomfort sooner in situations that do not honor you. You begin to sense when someone's tone crosses a quiet inner boundary. You begin to trust your reactions rather than dismiss them. This trust is the foundation of all healthy treatment from others. You have the power to set the standard for how others treat you, and that standard is set within you long before it is expressed outwardly. When you treat yourself with gentleness, others will follow. When you speak to yourself with respect, others will sense it. When you hold yourself with love, the world rises to meet that love. You may not see the full transformation immediately. Some patterns have been practiced for years and will unravel slowly. But every step towards self-kindness shifts your energy. Every loving thought changes the way you carry yourself. Every gentle breath strengthens your inner foundation. And people feel this, even if they cannot name it. You are not here to beg for respect. You are here to embody it. You are not here to demand kindness. You are here to offer it to yourself so fully that others cannot help but mirror it. Your inner treatment becomes the quiet instruction the world follows. Let us pause here. Place your hand once more on your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel its loyalty. Say softly within yourself, "I am learning to treat myself with love." These words are the beginning. They open the door. They invite a new way of being. As you move forward, remember this truth. People treat you exactly how you treat yourself, not because they decide your worth, but because you demonstrate it through your inner tone. When you change the tone, the world changes its response. My dear one, now that we have gently uncovered the inner patterns shaping your experiences, let us look more closely at how the world responds to the way you regard yourself. This connection is not mysterious, it is natural. The world reflects your inner beliefs the way a calm pond reflects the sky. When you speak lovingly to yourself, the reflection is warm. When you speak harshly, the reflection grows dim. Life, people, and experiences echo what you believe about your worth. I learned long ago that others do not decide your value. They sense the value you hold within. They sense it through your tone, through the way you carry yourself, through the softness or tension in your breath. People feel your inner climate even before you utter a word. This is not magic, it is the simple truth of human connection. We are always sending signals about how we wish to be treated. Think of the moments when you approach the world with confidence, even if only for a day. Perhaps you felt beautiful, or capable, or proud of something you accomplished. Notice how people responded differently. They may have spoken more kindly, treated you with more respect, or offered more patience. Why? Because they felt the quiet steadiness in you. They mirrored the regard you had for yourself. Now think of the times when you felt unworthy or insecure. You may have spoken softly, avoided eye contact, or rushed to agree even when you disagreed. These small gestures signal something too. You may overlook me, you may speak over me. I do not expect to be valued here. The world responded accordingly, not because it wished to harm you, but because you led the way. This link between inner and outer treatment often begins early in life. If you grew up in an environment where your feelings were dismissed or your needs minimized, you may have learned to accept such treatment as normal. You may have learned to stay quiet when someone crossed a boundary. You may have believed that your desires were too much. And without realizing it, you carry this belief into adulthood. Every belief becomes a lens. When you believe you deserve little, you notice every moment that confirms it. You tolerate the tone that feels dismissive. You allow the relationship that drains your spirit. You accept the role of giving endlessly while receiving scarcely anything in return. You live beneath your true worth because you have forgotten that worth exists. Yet the moment you begin treating yourself differently, the lens begins to shift. Something subtle awakens in you, a quiet truth that whispers, "I deserve better than this." That whisper does not demand, it reminds. It calls you home. And as you respond to that whisper, your outer world begins to rearrange itself. When you practice speaking kindly to yourself, you strengthen the inner belief that you are lovable. When you honor your feelings, you reinforce the idea that they matter. When you acknowledge your needs without shame, you teach yourself that you belong. This new self-treatment begins to radiate through your posture, your eyes, your presence. Others feel this change even when you say nothing at all. Let us pause here and breathe gently. Let your breath move softly into your body, reminding you that each inhale is a receiving and each exhale a letting go. This rhythm is the rhythm of self-respect. To receive, you must believe you deserve. To let go, you must trust that life supports you. Breath is the bridge between inner belief and outer experience. Imagine now that you walk into a room holding a quiet sense of your worth. Not pride, not arrogance, just a gentle assurance. Your shoulders are relaxed, your breath is calm, your gaze is steady. You do not shrink, you do not force, you simply stand as yourself. People feel this immediately. They instinctively speak more gently, they listen more intently. They adjust to the tone you set. When you treat yourself with respect, there is no need to demand it from others. It flows naturally. It does not require loud declarations. It does not require lengthy explanations. Respect arises from self-respect the way dawn arises from night, quietly, steadily, without strain. You may wonder how people sense this inner shift. They sense it through your boundaries. When you value yourself, you no longer allow certain behaviors. But you do not refuse them with anger. You simply no longer step into situations where you betray yourself. This quiet refusal teaches others without a single word spoken. For example, when you once allowed someone to interrupt you repeatedly, now you pause, breathe, and speak again with calm clarity. When you once allowed someone's harsh tone to silence your heart, now you gently say, "Please speak to me kindly." These small acts of self-honor send powerful messages into the world. You may not notice the change at first, but others do. They sense the new steadiness in you, the new alignment, and those who truly care for you will rise to meet that steadiness with their own. Those who do not will drift naturally out of your life, for they no longer have room to diminish a person who has learned to stand in their worth. Life always rearranges itself to match your self-regard. Let us explore this more deeply. Imagine you have a garden. If you neglect it, weeds grow. If you tend it with care, flowers bloom. The garden reflects your treatment. Your inner self is just the same. If you neglect your heart with harsh words and low expectations, you invite others to tread on the soil without care. But when you speak with love, when you plant seeds of self-respect, you invite only those who appreciate the garden you have tended. I want you to understand that you do not need to force anyone to treat you well. You simply treat yourself well, and those who cannot match that standard will feel out of place. Respectful people are drawn to respectful energy. Loving people are drawn to loving energy. Balanced people are drawn to balanced energy, and those who do not offer these qualities naturally step aside. Consider how the body itself reacts to self-treatment. When you speak harshly to yourself, tension rises, shoulders tighten, breath shortens, the stomach contracts, the heart feels guarded. These sensations are signals that something within you is being harmed. When you offer yourself tenderness instead, the body relaxes, it expands, it breathes deeply, it feels safe. And safety always invites better treatment from within and from without. If you wish to change the way others treat you, begin by noticing the messages you send through your own behavior. Do you rush to help others while denying your own needs? Do you dismiss your feelings because you fear they are inconvenient? Do you tolerate unkindness to avoid discomfort? These habits teach the world that you do not require care. But you do, you always have. As you learn to honor your needs, the world learns with you. When you say, "I will rest now," others recognize your need for rest. When you say, "I must speak my truth," others learn to listen. When you say, "I am worthy of kindness," you invite kindness from all directions. These are not commands. They are demonstrations of your inner growth. Let us breathe again. Inhale softly and imagine drawing self-respect into your body. Exhale and imagine releasing old beliefs of unworthiness. With each breath, you are rewriting the way the world will treat you. You are restoring a balance that has long been missing. There is something else that happens when you treat yourself with love. You attract relationships of higher quality. People who once overlooked you may now admire your steadiness. People who once used your kindness may step back, because that kindness is no longer tied to self-sacrifice. People who respect themselves will recognize a kindred spirit in you. This shift is not selfishness, it is alignment. When you honor your own worth, you create healthier connections. You engage more honestly. You give without resentment. You receive without guilt. You show up as your true self, and your true self invites genuine relationships. You may fear that treating yourself with respect will push people away, and yes, it will, but only the ones who benefited from your self-neglect. Let them go. Their absence creates space for those who love you for who you are, not for what you offer without boundaries. I want you to remember that self-treatment is a practice. There will be moments when you slip into old habits. You may find yourself accepting poor treatment again, or silencing your voice, or feeling small. When this happens, do not scold yourself. Instead, say gently, "I am learning." These words bring you back to truth. Learning is a path paved with compassion, not perfection. Notice now how your energy feels as you begin to understand this linkage. There may be a sense of empowerment rising in your chest. There may be a quiet sigh of relief. There may be a soft sadness as you recognize the ways you have been unkind to yourself. All these feelings are signs of awakening. They show that you are beginning to see yourself with clearer eyes. Let us take a moment to imagine something together. Picture yourself standing in a room filled with warm light. This light represents your self-worth. At first, it may feel faint, barely illuminating the space around you, but as you breathe, it grows brighter. With each breath, it extends farther. Soon, the room is glowing. This light touches your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your relationships. It fills every corner of your life. People who enter this room cannot help but respond to the light. They soften around you. They speak more gently. They treat you with a respect that matches the glow you now carry. This is not fantasy. This is a symbolic truth. Your inner state creates your atmosphere, and people feel that atmosphere before they know anything else about you. As you move through your life, you will notice certain patterns dissolving. You may find that you no longer tolerate dismissive remarks. You may speak more clearly when something feels wrong. You may walk away from situations that once held you captive. These changes arise naturally from your growing self-respect. You do not force them, they emerge. This is the beauty of inner healing. It does not require struggle. It unfolds through awareness, through compassion, through repetition of loving choices. Each day you practice self-kindness. The bridge between inner and outer treatment grows stronger. The world reflects more gently. Life becomes more harmonious. Before we close this part, place your hand once more over your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel its steady rhythm. Speak softly within yourself. I am worthy of good treatment. Let these words settle. They are important. They are true. You are learning to treat yourself with the love that has always belonged to you. And as you do, the world will learn to follow your example. My dear one, now that you understand how deeply the world responds to your self-treatment, we gently step into the heart of this transformation. The way you speak to yourself. Your inner dialogue is not merely a collection of thoughts. It is the nourishment or the starvation of your spirit. It is the quiet shaping force beneath every decision, every boundary, every relationship. When you change this dialogue, you change the foundation of your life. For many years, I spoke to myself with words that were not kind. I repeated the criticisms I learned in childhood. I judged my feelings. I compared myself to others. I expected myself to be perfect. And because I treated myself this way, the world treated me the same. It mirrored my inner harshness through unkind relationships, exhausting obligations, and situations where I allowed myself to be diminished. My outer life transformed only when my inner voice softened. You may never have considered that the voice you use inwardly becomes the voice the world echoes back to you. Yet this is how life operates. If you say inwardly, I am not worthy, the world follows your script. If you say, I must settle, life seems to offer you less. But when you say, I deserve kindness, something shifts. Your inner light brightens. The way you walk changes. Your tone changes. And those around you notice, even if they cannot explain why. Let us begin gently. Think for a moment about the way you speak to yourself when you make a mistake. Do you soften or do you scold? Many people judge themselves more harshly than they would ever judge another person. They say things inwardly that would break their heart if spoken aloud to a child or a friend. This harshness becomes the soil on which their lives grow. But you can choose different soil. Place your hand on your heart again. Feel the quiet beneath your touch. Speak softly within yourself. I am willing to be kinder to myself. You do not need to believe it fully. You only need to be willing. Willingness opens the door. Love walks through that door when it knows it is welcome. Your inner dialogue did not form overnight. It grew from years of repeated thoughts, some borrowed from others, some born of fear, some arising from misunderstanding. You may not have chosen these thoughts consciously, but now you can choose differently. Repetition created the old patterns. Repetition will create the new ones. When you wake in the morning, your inner voice is fresh, unguarded. This is the perfect moment to introduce thoughts that nurture healing. Begin with something simple, such as, I am learning to love myself, or I deserve to be treated well. These words may feel delicate at first, but they carry profound strength. They speak to the truth beneath the fears. Let us pause and breathe deeply. Notice how your body responds to these gentle statements. You may feel warmth in your chest. You may feel a loosening in your throat. You may even feel tears welling. These sensations are signs that your inner being recognizes the truth of your worth. Even if your mind doubts, your body remembers. Self-talk shapes posture. It shapes expression. It shapes breath. When you speak kindly to yourself, your shoulders lift naturally, your eyes soften, your breath slows. You move through the world with a steadiness that others feel. You carry a quiet dignity, and the world treats you accordingly. Part of rewriting the inner dialogue is recognizing the old voice, the one that speaks from fear, habit, or past hurt. This voice may say things like, I do not deserve better, or I must stay quiet, or no one will care. When you hear these thoughts, pause. Do not argue. Do not push them away. Simply say, "Thank you for trying to protect me." This acknowledgement softens their grip. Then gently introduce a new thought. Perhaps you say, "I deserve tenderness," or "My voice matters," or "I am learning to receive love." Each loving thought is like a small stone placed upon a new path. With repetition, the old path becomes less familiar, and the new one becomes the way you naturally walk. Forgiveness plays an important role here. Many people believe forgiveness is something they offer to others, but forgiveness of the self is equally essential. When you forgive yourself, you release the harsh judgments that once shaped your inner tone. You let go of the belief that you must punish yourself to become worthy. Forgiveness says, "I am human, and I am still worthy of kindness." Speak softly now. "I forgive myself for the times I abandoned my own heart." Feel the warmth of these words. Feel how they begin to dissolve the heaviness you may carry inside. Forgiveness does not erase the past. It frees you from reliving it. As you continue to shift your inner dialogue, you may notice moments of discomfort. This is natural. The mind may cling to familiar criticisms because they once felt protective. Be gentle with yourself. Change does not require force. It requires patience. It requires consistency. It requires love. You may find it helpful to repeat affirmations throughout the day. These affirmations are not meant to mask feelings or deny your experience. They are reminders of your inherent worth. They help you remember what is true when old thoughts arise. Here are a few phrases you may speak inwardly. I am worthy of respect. My needs are important. I treat myself with love. I expect kindness because I offer it to myself. I trust myself to choose what feels right. Say them slowly. Say them with warmth. Let them settle into your heart like seeds. As your inner dialogue softens, something remarkable happens. You begin to see yourself with new eyes. You notice that you speak more gently. You make decisions with greater clarity. You no longer tolerate what once harmed you. You walk away from conversations that diminish your spirit. You choose relationships that feel balanced and kind. This is not because the world has changed. It is because you have changed. When I first began practicing loving self-talk, I found that my body responded immediately. My breath deepened. My shoulders relaxed. My stomach released tension I did not know I carried. These physical shifts were signs that my body trusted the new tone. When the body trusts, the mind follows. Let us imagine something together. Picture your inner dialogue as a river. For many years, this river may have flowed with harsh currents, each criticism a wave, each doubt a whirlpool. But now, with each loving thought, you introduce streams of calm water. Slowly, the river changes its course. It becomes gentle. It becomes clear. It becomes a place where your spirit can rest. There may be moments when the old dialogue returns loudly. This does not mean you have failed. It simply means you are human. When this happens, take a breath and return to your gentle thoughts. Say within yourself, "I choose love now." These words are powerful. They reorient your inner world. In time, your new self-talk becomes effortless. You find yourself speaking kindly without thinking. You catch old criticisms before they take root. You feel worthy of goodness in a way you never did before. And because you treat yourself with respect, the world reflects this new tone. The relationship you have with yourself becomes the refuge from which all other relationships are built. When you feel safe with your own thoughts, you seek relationships that enhance your well-being. You no longer cling to connections that drain you. You trust yourself to walk away when necessary. You trust yourself to choose yourself. Let us breathe together once more. Inhale gently, exhale fully. Feel the shift taking place within you. Feel the space you are creating. Feel the love that is growing quietly, steadily. Before we close this part, let us speak one more affirmation. I am learning to speak to myself with love, and the world responds. These words will echo in your heart. They will guide your interactions. They will teach others how to treat you. And they will remind you of the truth you are reclaiming. You are worthy of love from yourself first and from the world next. My dear one, as we move deeper into this journey of remembering your worth, we arrive at a place many people misunderstand, the gentle, steady art of boundaries. So often boundaries are spoken of as walls, as defenses, as harsh declarations meant to push others away. But true boundaries, boundaries born of self-love, are nothing of the sort. They are not weapons, they are not punishments. They are expressions of inner respect, as natural and necessary as breath. When I began learning to love myself, I did not begin with strong declarations or loud refusals. I began by listening to my body. The body always knows when something feels right and when something feels unkind. It tightens, it retreats, it grows uneasy in the presence of disrespect. These signals are invitations, not burdens. They whisper, this is not loving. This does not match your truth. Boundaries arise when we finally honor these whispers. You may think of times when you felt a sinking in your stomach but ignored it. Times when someone spoke sharply and you stayed silent. Times when you canceled your own needs so another would not feel discomfort. These moments are not failures. They are reflections of the old belief that your feelings matter less than someone else's. And just as we learn that belief once, we can unlearn it through love. Boundaries do not begin with words spoken outwardly. They begin with inner clarity. When you treat yourself with kindness, you no longer permit certain forms of unkindness. When you speak to yourself with respect, you no longer accept disrespect. When you honor your needs, you no longer apologize for having them. Boundaries form from within. They grow like a quiet strength inside your chest. Let us pause for a moment. Take a gentle breath and feel how your body responds. Let the breath settle into your heart. Let it fill your belly. Let it remind you that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to exist fully in your truth. This breath is your first boundary, the space you claim simply by being alive. When you begin to love yourself, your energy changes. You no longer give away your time without thought. You no longer pretend to agree when your heart says no. You no longer sacrifice your well-being for the comfort of those who do not honor your worth. These changes are not rigid. They are natural. They arise from the quiet recognition that your life matters. So many people misunderstand boundaries because they learn them through pain. They learn them as sharp edges, as raised voices, as moments of breaking. But boundaries guided by love feel different. They feel warm. They feel steady. They feel like a gentle parent guiding a child, saying, this is not safe for you, or this does not feel right, or we will choose differently now. I want you to understand something deeply. You do not need to justify your boundaries. When you truly honor your worth, explanations become unnecessary. You do not argue your value, you embody it. And the world feels that embodiment long before your words are spoken. Think of a time when someone spoke to you with unkindness. Perhaps their tone was sharp, or their words belittling, or their presence overwhelming. In the past, you may have allowed it. You may have swallowed your hurt and smiled instead. But now, with your deepening self-love, the body speaks clearly. It tightens with a gentle alertness. It urges you to step back, to breathe, to acknowledge that something does not match your truth. This simple recognition is the beginning of a boundary. You do not need to confront the person with anger. You do not need to defend your feelings. You simply need to choose a different response. You may speak softly, I do not receive that, or please speak to me kindly, or this does not feel right. These words do not lash out. They rise from your inner steadiness. And because they rise from love, They carry great strength. Boundaries formed from fear often collapse when challenged. Boundaries formed from love remain steady because they are not built against others, they are built for you. They are acts of devotion to your heart, your time, your energy. They arise from the truth that you are worthy of care, and therefore you must care for yourself. Let us breathe again. Let your belly soften and your chest rise gently. Feel how breath creates space within you. Boundaries create this same space around you. They allow you to breathe freely in your relationships. They allow your spirit to move unconfined. They prevent your kindness from becoming exhaustion. You may recall times when you stayed silent even though something felt wrong. Silence is not always kindness. Sometimes silence teaches others that you will accept what wounds you, and they may continue simply because they do not know another way. Boundaries are how you teach them, not through punishment, but through clarity. Imagine now that your life is a home. Some windows are open, some doors unlocked, some rooms neglected. Anyone may walk in, rearrange the furniture, leave footprints on the floor, or speak loudly in your quiet spaces. But when you love yourself, you begin to close certain windows gently. You lock doors that do not need to be opened by everyone. You tend to corners of your heart that were once ignored. This is not distancing yourself, it is restoring order to your inner home. When your inner home is tended, people who enter feel its peace. They speak more gently, they walk more carefully. They sense they are in a sacred place. This is the power of boundaries. They teach others how to move within your space. You may feel afraid that boundaries will push people away, and yes, some may leave. But those who leave were never honoring your heart. Their departure is not a loss, it is an opening. As they drift away, space is created for those who will treat you with the tenderness you now offer yourself. Boundaries attract better treatment. They do so without force. They do so without tension. They arise from the quiet certainty within you, I deserve love. People who can meet you at that level will stay. Those who cannot will find the door without you pushing them toward it. Let us reflect now on the way the body responds when a boundary is ignored. You may feel a tightening, a shrinking, a heaviness. These sensations are not weaknesses, they are messages. The body is saying, pay attention. When you listen, you honor yourself. When you ignore these messages, you abandon yourself. And the world follows your lead. When you listen inwardly, the world listens too. Think of a time when someone asked more of you than you could give. Perhaps you said yes, even though your heart said no. Notice the exhaustion that followed. That exhaustion was not caused by the task itself. It was caused by the betrayal of your own needs. Self-betrayal drains more than any physical effort. And each time you say yes when your heart whispers no, you teach the world to expect more of your energy than you can offer. Now imagine saying no with kindness. Imagine saying, I would love to help, but I must honor my limits. Imagine how your body responds to this truth, how it relaxes, how it breathes, how it feels, held by your own respect. This response is the sign of a boundary, honorable and clear. Boundaries need not be spoken aloud. Many of the strongest boundaries are unspoken. They are held in energy, in posture, in presence. They say, I honor myself, and others feel this truth without being told. Your energy becomes the guardian of your well-being. Let us deepen this understanding. When you treat yourself with tenderness, the world naturally treats you with more care. When you expect kindness, you attract kindness. When you show yourself respect, you create relationships rooted in mutual regard. But when you abandon your truth, the world mirrors that abandonment. Every healthy relationship, romantic, familial, friendship, or work thrives on clear boundaries. Without them, giving becomes draining and receiving becomes shameful. Boundaries create balance. They ensure that love flows both ways. They prevent one-sided connections from hollowing your heart. You are not here to tolerate what harms you. You are not here to be the answer to every cry for help. You are not here to rescue those who refuse to rescue themselves. You are here to love, to grow, to shine. Boundaries allow you to shine without burning out. As your self-love deepens, people will sense the shift. Some will approach you with newfound respect. Others may act surprised by your clarity. A few may resist. But none of these reactions are your responsibility. Your responsibility is to remain true to yourself, to remain gentle, to remain steady, to remain loving. Boundaries guided by love do not need to be defended. They simply exist, like a quiet riverbank that holds the river in place. They create shape, not confinement. They create flow, not restriction. They allow your relationships to become healthier because they establish safety for yourself and for others. Before we close this part, place your hand over your heart again. Feel the warmth. Speak softly within yourself. I honor myself, and my boundaries arise from love. Feel how your body receives these words. Feel the steadiness they invite. Feel the quiet strength they awaken. Boundaries are not barriers. They are acts of self-devotion. And through them, you teach the world how to cherish the sacredness of who you are. My dear one, now that we have traveled through the inner steps of recognizing your worth, rewriting your dialogue, and allowing loving boundaries to form, we arrive at the place where all this inner work becomes the way you live each day. Walking through life with self-respect is not something you perform, it is something you embody. It becomes the quiet tone of your being, the gentle current beneath your actions, the steady light that guides your steps. When I first learned to love myself, I discovered that the world treated me differently, not because it had changed, but because I spoke with more calm. I breathed more deeply. I walked with my head slightly higher. I trusted my feelings rather than dismissing them. These small inner shifts altered every interaction. People sensed my steadiness. They spoke with more respect. They listened more closely. They offered more warmth. I had become the teacher of how I wished to be treated. Imagine yourself rising each day with this new sense of inner regard. Feel how your breath moves more freely. Feel how your body carries itself with quiet dignity. Self-respect is not stiffness, it is not pride, it is softness balanced with clarity. It is love that knows its own value. When you walk with this energy, life recognizes it instantly. As you move through your day, notice how others respond to your presence. The tone in their voice changes. Their eyes linger a moment longer. Their words soften. They may not understand why they are responding this way, but they are responding to your inner state. Self-respect radiates. It creates a field around you, a gentle invitation for others to engage with care. When you treat yourself well, your steps become purposeful, not rushed, not hesitant, purposeful. You begin to choose environments that feel nourishing rather than draining. You seek out conversations that lift your spirit. You allow space between yourself and situations that once overwhelmed you. This is not withdrawal, it is alignment with your deeper truth. You may find that you no longer feel the need to explain your worth to anyone. You no longer chase approval. You no longer measure your value by how much you achieve or how perfectly you perform. Instead, you measure it by the love you offer yourself, the honesty you bring to your choices, and the kindness you extend inwardly. Daily life becomes gentler, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your inner relationship has healed. Notice how self-respect influences even the smallest interactions. When someone speaks harshly, you pause and breathe instead of shrinking. When someone crosses a boundary, you respond with calm firmness rather than silent resignation. When someone offers kindness, you receive it joyfully rather than feeling unworthy. This ease is the reward of your inner transformation. Let us pause and breathe together. Let the breath flow into your belly. Let it soften your chest. This breath reminds you of your place in the world. You are not a visitor here. You are not an intruder. You belong, and belonging means allowing yourself to move through life with the same respect you would offer a cherished friend. As you grow in self-respect, you may notice a deeper confidence rising, one that is not loud or forceful, but steady and warm. You trust your voice, you trust your instincts, you trust that your needs matter. This trust guides your decisions. You stop saying yes when you mean no. You stop offering apologies for being yourself. You stop tolerating what wounds you. This confidence does not push others away. It draws the right people closer. Think of the times you doubted yourself. Notice how heavy those moments felt. Notice how your breath shortened and your shoulders slumped. These physical cues reflected an inner belief that you were not enough. But now, with each gentle affirmation you have practiced, you lift that weight. You speak to yourself as someone deserving. And your body responds with gratitude. It straightens. It breathes. It trusts. When you walk through the world in this new way, opportunities begin to appear more easily. Conversations unfold with harmony. Relationships grow healthier. Work becomes clearer. You begin to feel supported by life itself. This is not coincidence. Life responds to your self-respect because self-respect aligns you with your true path. Imagine stepping into a room with your new energy. You do not announce your worth. You do not boast. You do not stiffen. You simply enter with calm presence. Others feel this. They may turn toward you with curiosity or kindness. They may treat you with a level of respect you once longed for. This is the mirror effect in its purest form. You treat yourself with love, and the world reflects that love. You may also notice that some people drift away. Those who relied on your self-doubt to feel powerful may step back. Those who took advantage of your silence may become uncomfortable. Let them go. Their departure is part of your growth. When you stop abandoning yourself, you stop attracting those who benefit from your self-abandonment. Walking through life with self-respect also means healing your relationship with your past. You may look back at old situations and feel sadness or regret. You may think of the times you allowed mistreatment because you did not know another way. Be gentle with yourself. Every moment of your past brought you to this awakening. You were learning, you were surviving, and now you are growing. Say softly within yourself, I forgive myself for not knowing my worth. Let those words settle in your heart. Feel how they soothe places that once felt tender with shame. Forgiveness is a balm that frees you from old patterns. It invites you to step forward without carrying yesterday's heaviness. As you continue this journey, you will find yourself choosing differently. You may choose silence over argument. You may choose distance over clinging. You may choose truth over pleasing. You may choose rest over overexertion. Each loving choice shapes the world's response to you. Each gentle decision strengthens your self-respect. Consider how you speak now compared to how you once spoke. Notice how your voice has softened yet strengthened. Notice how your words carry clarity rather than apology. Notice how you speak to yourself with more compassion. All of this is evidence that your inner dialogue has transformed your outer life. Let us imagine something together. Picture yourself walking down a long path. The sun is warm on your skin. The air caresses your face gently. Each step feels grounded, steady, supported. You carry yourself with grace, not because the path is perfect, but because you trust yourself to walk it. You trust the ground beneath you. You trust the direction you have chosen. This is the essence of self-respect. People you meet along the path respond to your steadiness. They greet you with warmth. They speak with gentleness. They treat you as someone who knows their worth. And the more they do, the more your inner world blooms. Your heart opens wider. Your breath deepens further. Your life expands. This expansion does not require effort. It grows from the soil you have cultivated through loving thoughts, clear boundaries, and gentle breath. It grows from your willingness to see yourself as lovable. It grows from your decision to honor your own spirit. Walking through life with self-respect also means honoring your quiet moments. There will be times when you feel unsure or tired. During these moments, return to your breath, return to your body, return to your kind inner voice. These are your anchors. They will steady you when life feels uncertain. You are not expected to feel confident every moment. You are not expected to carry yourself with grace every day. You are human. What matters is your return, your gentle return to love, to worthiness, to respect. Each return strengthens the foundation beneath you. Before we close this part, place your hand on your heart one more time. Feel its rhythm, feel its warmth. Whisper softly, I walk through life with love and respect for myself. These words guide your steps. They shape your interactions. They invite the world to respond in kind. You are becoming the teacher of your own worth, the guardian of your own heart, and the gentle authority of your own life. And as you walk through the world in this way, the world mirrors your inner respect with greater clarity, greater kindness, and greater love. My dear one, now that we have walked together through every layer of this healing journey, let us rest for a moment in the quiet truth that has revealed itself beneath it all. You are the one who teaches the world how to treat you. Not through force, not through demand, not through dramatic change, but through the soft, steady way you speak to yourself, the way you honor your needs, the way you hold your precious heart. As I sit with you now, I feel the gentle unfolding of your growth. It is not loud, it is not sharp, it is like a rose opening in the morning light, one petal at a time, each revealing a deeper shade of beauty. You may not fully see the transformation yet, but it is already happening. You feel it in your breath, in your posture, in the way your body responds to your own kindness. This is the true beginning. For many years, you may have walked through life believing others had the power to decide your worth. You may have waited for someone to recognize your value, to honor your feelings, to see your heart. But now you understand your worth does not come from others. It arises from within. It is expressed through your actions, your choices, your voice, and even your silence. When you treat yourself with love, the world must adjust. Let us breathe gently together. Feel the inhale, soften your chest. Feel the exhale, loosen your shoulders. This breath carries a new awareness, the awareness that your self-treatment shapes your experiences. Each breath you take with kindness is a step toward a life filled with respect. Each breath is a quiet declaration. I matter. You have learned to listen to your inner voice with tenderness. You have learned to soothe your fears rather than silence them. You have learned to speak words to yourself that strengthen rather than diminish. These new habits are not small. They reshape the foundation on which your life stands. Your self-dialogue is now becoming a place of comfort rather than criticism. And as your inner voice softens, your boundaries become clearer. You no longer give away your energy without thought. You no longer say yes when your heart says no. You no longer allow others to treat you in ways that betray your spirit. These boundaries do not arise from anger. They arise from the recognition that your heart deserves protection. You have become the guardian of your own well-being. Imagine now how different your life feels as you carry this understanding. You walk with a quiet steadiness. Your steps feel grounded. Your presence feels whole. When someone speaks kindly to you, you receive their words with ease. When someone disrespects you, you sense it immediately, not because you are defensive, but because your inner tone is clear. Disrespect no longer matches your truth. Walking with self-respect is like walking with a lantern in your hands. The light does not erase shadows, but it illuminates your path. You no longer fear losing your way because your inner glow shows you where to step next. This glow grows brighter each time you choose kindness over self-judgment, each time you rest instead of pushing, each time you honor your needs without apology. You may notice now how life is beginning to change around you. People treat you with greater care. Conversations hold more warmth. You feel more comfortable speaking your truth. You experience more honesty, more harmony, more balance. This is not luck, it is reflection. You have shifted your inner mirror, and the world reflects your new clarity. Let us pause again. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its soft, faithful rhythm. This heart has guided you through years of misunderstanding, and now it guides you into a new life. Speak softly within yourself. I honor myself. I respect myself. I love myself. These words ripple through your being. They invite every part of you to remember your innate worth. There may still be days when old patterns try to return, days when you doubt your strength, days when someone speaks harshly and the echo stirs something familiar inside you. On those days, be gentle. Your healing is not undone by a moment of fear. Every breath is a chance to return to yourself. Every moment is a chance to choose loving self-treatment again. Self-respect does not require perfection. It requires presence. When you are present with your needs, you honor them. When you are present with your feelings, you listen to them. When you are present with your heart, you protect it. This presence teaches the world to meet you with the same care. Let us imagine the life that is unfolding for you now. You wake each morning with a gentler breath. You greet yourself with warmth. You move through the day with intention rather than panic. You choose relationships that nourish your soul. You speak with clarity. You walk with grace. You treat yourself with love, and the world learns to love you in return. You become someone who draws kindness effortlessly, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. You become someone who inspires respect, not through force, but through your quiet dignity. You become someone who forgives themselves gently, who heals patiently, who rises steadily. Life begins to mirror your transformation with opportunities aligned with your worth. There may come a day when someone from your past no longer recognizes you, not because you have become someone else, but because you have finally become yourself. Your self-respect shines more brightly than any mask you once wore. And this brightness invites a new world to gather around you. You are stepping into a life shaped not by fear, but by love, not by scarcity, but by self-trust, not by old wounds, but by new wisdom. The world you will experience from this place is softer, kinder, more open, not because the world has changed, but because your inner world has. Let us breathe once more together. Inhale gently. Exhale with ease. Feel how your breath now carries confidence. Feel how it carries clarity. Feel how it carries love. These qualities are your true essence. Before we close, speak softly within yourself. I am the standard for how I am treated. I teach the world through the way I love myself. Let those words echo through your heart. Let them take root in your mind. Let them guide your steps. My dear one, you are worthy of respect. You are worthy of kindness. You are worthy of love, deep, steady, unconditional love. And now you know how to offer it to yourself. The world will rise to meet the standard you set within. Walk forward with this truth. Walk softly, walk proudly, walk lovingly, and watch how life transforms around you. My dear one, as we come together again in this quiet space, I want to offer you another way of seeing the profound change that has begun within you. You have not simply learned about self-respect, you have awakened to it. You have not merely spoken words of kindness, you have invited kindness into your heart. You have not only listened to new ideas, you have allowed them to soften the very tone of your being. This is no small shift. It is the blossoming of your true self. When I think of you now, I imagine someone standing in a soft morning light, beginning to understand the beauty they carry within. You are learning that your worth is not a prize to earn, but a truth to remember. You are beginning to see how your inner treatment sets the standard for every relationship in your life. And as this awareness grows, your entire world begins to rearrange itself to match your new understanding. Let us breathe together, a slow, gentle inhale, a long, releasing exhale. Feel how this simple rhythm reminds you that life responds to your inner state. When you breathe with love, the world feels more loving. When you breathe with peace, the world becomes gentler. When you breathe with respect, you invite respect into your days. Breath carries the essence of who you are becoming. There is a point in every healing journey when knowledge turns into embodiment. It happens quietly. Suddenly you notice you are speaking to yourself more kindly without effort. You realize you feel uneasy around old patterns that once felt familiar. You find yourself standing a little taller, choosing with more honesty, listening more closely to your inner voice. This is embodiment. It is the moment your inner transformation begins to walk beside you through life. You may not recognize how far you've come, but I do. I can see the places where old wounds no longer have the same power. I can sense the growing clarity in your heart. I can feel the gentle strength gathering beneath your ribs. You are no longer waiting for someone else to validate you. You are no longer asking the world to determine your worth. You are becoming the living example of your own love. As you walk through your days now, begin to notice the quiet ways life responds to your new tone. Notice how people pause before speaking to you, sensing your clarity. Notice how those who once took advantage of your kindness now hesitate, unsure why the old patterns no longer work. Notice how new people appear, people with gentle hearts, people who recognize your worth instinctively, people who meet your energy with warmth rather than demand. The world is rearranging itself around your self-respect. This rearrangement may feel subtle at first, but over time it becomes unmistakable. You will find yourself having fewer heavy conversations and more meaningful ones. You will see that the relationships draining your spirit begin to loosen their hold. You will discover that situations which once troubled you no longer carry the same weight. You are growing, and the world responds. Let us pause again. Bring your attention to your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. Feel how it has remained with you through every moment, every joy, every sorrow, every fear, every awakening. This heart of yours has never abandoned you. Even when you doubted yourself, even when you accepted less than you deserved, even when you forgot your worth, your heart continued beating with unconditional love. Now you are returning to it. Walking through life with self-respect does not mean you will never feel hurt. It does not mean every person will treat you kindly. But it does mean you will no longer internalize the unkindness of others. It means you will no longer confuse their behavior with your worth. You will say, "This is about them, not me," and feel the truth of those words. This clarity is freedom. You may find that your voice grows softer yet stronger. Kindness becomes your natural expression, not a performance, but a genuine reflection of your inner peace. You no longer need to defend yourself with sharp words or hide yourself behind silence. You simply exist as yourself, trusting that your presence is enough, trusting that your truth is worthy, trusting that love guides your steps. As your inner dialogue continues to soften, you will notice that life feels less like something to survive and more like something to embrace. You begin to experience moments of joy in places you once overlooked, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the gentleness of your own breath, the quiet blessing of waking each morning with a new opportunity to practice love. Let me remind you of something essential. You do not need to be perfect to deserve good treatment. You do not need to always speak clearly, or always choose wisely, or always stand firm. You simply need to remain willing to return to yourself when you forget, to soften when you are tempted to harden, to offer self-love even when you feel undeserving. Healing is not about perfection. It is about returning to love again and again. Imagine yourself at the end of the day, sitting quietly, reviewing the moments you moved through. You will see places where you honored your worth. You will see places where you wavered. You will see moments when you felt proud of your clarity, and others when old habits resurfaced. Look at all of it with tender eyes. Say to yourself, I am learning, and let that be enough. Self-respect grows through gentle repetition. Each time you choose to treat yourself kindly, the roots grow deeper. Each time you set a boundary, the trunk grows stronger. Each time you speak with truth, the branches spread wider. And each time you forgive yourself, the blossoms open more fully. You become a living garden of self-love. Now imagine the people who enter this garden. Those with gentle spirits will feel at home. They will sit beside you, admire your blossoms, and walk with care. Those who cannot appreciate such beauty may pass through quickly. Let them. A garden is not diminished because someone failed to see its worth. Its beauty remains. This is the life you are creating. A life rooted in your inner respect, blossoming with your own love, attracting relationships and experiences that match your dignity. You become the example not because you preach, but because you live your truth. Your presence teaches without words. Let us breathe again. A slow inhale, a soft exhale. Feel how your breath now carries the essence of your journey. It carries strength, it carries softness, it carries the memory of every moment you chose yourself, even when it felt unfamiliar. Before we close, I want you to imagine looking into a mirror, not to judge, not to criticize, but to acknowledge. Look into your own eyes and see the person who has endured, who has grown, who has softened, who has risen. Say softly inside yourself, I am the love I have been seeking. I am worthy of every kind word. I walk in dignity because I honor myself. I am the standard for how I am treated. Feel how these words resonate. Feel how they anchor you. Feel how they align you with the truth you are becoming. My dear one, your journey does not end here. It begins anew each day, each breath, each thought. But now you walk forward with clarity. You walk forward with love. You walk forward with the understanding that your self-respect is your compass, and the world will follow the direction you set. Carry this with you. The way you treat yourself is not only a reflection of your past, it is the shaping force of your future. Walk softly, walk proudly, walk lovingly, and watch how the world reshapes itself around the truth of who you are.